Okay, big news. After weeks, really 2 months of this back and forth, former Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller is going to testify before Congress. And as far as we know right now, it's going to be public and it's going to be televised and it's going to be huge. Right now, the date is July 17th. Robert Mueller is going to testify before two House panels, the Judiciary and the Intelligence Committee panels. This is according to the respective chairpeople of those two committees. And I hope that enough time is actually allocated for this, that Robert Mueller can be questioned in depth. And to refresh your memory, in his nearly 450-page report, Robert Mueller said he could not exonerate Donald Trump from obstruction of justice. If he could have exonerated Trump on the basis of his investigation, he would have said it in clear and certain terms, which he did not. And in fact, Robert Mueller's report, once you got past the propagandizing of it, including through the Barr letter, which we'll talk about, the report actually said there was significant evidence of obstruction, meeting all three legal requirements of obstruction in 8 of the 14 different possible obstructive acts into which Robert Mueller looked. Now, what we don't yet know is whether Robert Mueller ultimately agreed to this public testimony under threat of subpoena, because we had every indication that Robert Mueller did not want to testify and that he had been resisting testifying. He wanted his statement from a few weeks ago to be all that was said in addition to the report itself. Robert Mueller actually saying the report is my testimony. And clearly that was not good enough for Democrats in the House and Senate, and rightly so. Then it became clear that Robert Mueller would accept testifying if it were private, behind closed doors, and not televised. And Democrats again said it should be public and it should be televised, rightly so. And now it will be time to see, what does Donald Trump do to try to obstruct or distract from or get in the way of these hearings, and of course to distract from the content of the hearings as well. And there are a few different lines that are being pushed on this from the Trumpists so far. As of right now, as of when we're taping the show today, and this may have changed by the time you listen to or watch this segment, Donald Trump has not activated around this news in any way. But from what I've been seeing from Trumpists in the normal right-wing Trumpist enclaves of the internet, there's a few different talking points that are being repeated ad nauseum. Number one is simply nothing is going to come of this period and nothing notable is going to be said by Robert Mueller. Repeating that Robert Mueller already said his full investigation is in the report. There's nothing else to be said by Robert Mueller. The talking point that Robert Mueller testifying is going to help Donald Trump win re-election in 2020, and that Democrats are stupid for doing this. The word nothing burger is being repeated frequently. And like with everything else, we just have to wait and see. I mean, that's it. If we've learned anything from the last however long we've been following politics and corporate media reporting on politics, it's that we need to wait and see what actually happens. They said all along, the Trumpists did, that the Mueller report would have nothing in it. Although you had some strategic people like Rudy Giuliani saying, oh, we expect it could be bad in order to sort of pad the landing, so to speak. But the hardcore Trumpists who were not working directly for Trump were saying the Mueller report is going to have nothing. And in the end, the Mueller report ended up saying he can't exonerate Trump. There's substantial evidence of 8 counts of criminal obstruction. Huge. And Mueller testifying publicly on live television is also going to be huge. If you thought that Michael Cohen's testimony was a big event for the world of C-SPAN and the like, Robert Mueller's testimony is going to be orders of magnitude bigger than that. And we do not know what is going to be said. What we do know is that before the Mueller report came out, the Trump campaign, the Trump administration, the Trump inner circle ran this massive disinformation campaign, which included at its sort of center, as its centerpiece, the Barr letter itself, which was a complete and total misrepresentation of the content of the Mueller report. They're going to do it again, okay? No matter what Trumpists will say, Mueller is not a credible person, and they will attack Mueller personally. They will say after the testimony, Mueller either brought nothing serious to the table, or if he claimed to bring something serious to the table, Mueller was lying. And that's why the character assassination in advance will be key to this strategy, laying the groundwork. And we know this in advance, so we have to remember not to be influenced in any way by what these Trumpist actors say. They will attack Mueller's credibility no matter what. They will go after the process of the investigation no matter what. They will continue to demand counter investigations, either into the investigators or into Hillary Clinton or some into Barack Obama they want investigated. So we should be setting realistic expectations, and I'll talk about that in a second, but we should not be paying even one iota of attention to the predictable talking points that we're going to see from the Trumpist right. So as far as the expectations go, it's not likely that Robert Mueller is going to reveal anything substantively shocking related to the results of the report that's not in the report. But that doesn't matter, because the entire point here is most Americans have not read the report. When I have advocated for an immediate start to an impeachment inquiry in the House of Representatives, it's not because I believe it will get Trump removed from the White House, from the Oval Office, more at all, or certainly not more quickly than just voting him out in November of 2020. The issue is that many Americans' perception of the report is what's in the Barr letter, the no collusion, no obstruction talking point circulated by Donald Trump's national exoneration tour on which he went after the Barr letter was published. And by having a one day, hopefully multiple days of hearings with Robert Mueller, will confirm and restate what's in the report, which will be news to most Americans. That in itself will be a huge win, because it will inform people of the content of the report, something most Americans do not know about. Some because of deliberate ignorance, some because they're just busy living their lives. And so this is why, in the same way that an impeachment inquiry would be extraordinarily useful merely by publicizing the content of the Mueller report, Mueller testifying will hopefully do the exact same thing. So that's the news as we know it as of right now. By tonight, this may even be different, but we will have more coverage of this as we get closer to July 17th. Good news overall. One of today's sponsors is Impeach the Card Slap Game. You can't slap Donald Trump in real life, but you can slap him in this really funny and intelligent two-player card game. And you can get it for 10% off when you go to davidpakman.com/impeach and use the coupon code PakmanShow at checkout, all one word. Impeach the Card Slap Game is perfect for having friends over or hanging out with family members who have a sense of humor about Trump. We've been playing it at my place. It currently has a 5 out of 5 star rating on Amazon. I really don't think you'll be able to find a game that does a better job of satirizing today's political climate in such an intelligent way. I've had a ton of fun with it, and I think you will too. You can tell a ton of time and careful thought went into the game design and the cartoon artwork and the humor. It never gets old because you're always discovering new jokes and political commentary within the game. We were talking to the creators of the game, and they said one of their goals was that players might even learn something new as they play. I think it would make a perfect gift for anyone, really, of any political orientation, just because of how clever it is. Or you can get it for yourself and have a really fun and witty game to play when people come over. Get Impeach the Card Slap Game by going to davidpakman.com/impeach and get 10% off when you use the coupon code PakmanShow at checkout. That's all one word, PakmanShow.